So Good Friday, I remember Mass of the Pre-Sanctified.
Yes.
In the old Missal. And what was that, and how is it related to the Good Friday liturgy we've got now?
Well, I have a friend who says that that the present prayer book is the triumph of Anglo-Catholicism in the Episcopal Church, but hopefully in a way that is acceptable to everyone. And what we had with the Mass of the Old Pre-Sanctified is really what we still have available as an option in the prayer book. Not everyone observes it. Is that enough sacrament is consecrated on Maundy, Thursday, so that the faithful who wish to receive communion can receive it from the pre-sanctified, from what's already been consecrated. And the goal is to consume it all so that there is no sacrament left in the church reserved on Friday night leading into the Easter Vigil on Saturday night. The tabernacle is supposed to be, if you have a tabernacle or an aumbrey or some other place where the sacrament is reserved, the door is supposed to be open. So there's clear evidence that there is nothing there. And then at the Easter Vigil, he is risen. He comes back. Had a friend who's dead now, unfortunately, was a Roman Catholic priest who was ordained during the glory days of Vatican II, very much a Vatican II priest. And he said that what they did in his seminary chapel, and he was the one who instituted this, the tabernacle would be open on Good Friday to show there was nothing in it, and then it would be veiled as they went into the Easter Vigil, and as they pulled away the veil in order to begin reserving the sacrament again at the end of the Eucharist at the Easter Vigil, he had put a little tiny placard there that said, "He is not here, he is risen." And so again, all that ties in with that sense of the Lord's absence going into the morning of Holy Saturday, but then we're going to reserve the sacrament again after the Easter Vigil. That's a sign that he is risen, and he is in the midst of his people, and he always will be.
Well, now you've got Good Friday, you've got the Good Friday liturgy, which has Mass of the Pre-Sanctified as part of it, where people take communion from the reserved sacrament. You have the option of veneration of the cross, which is pretty ancient.
That is very ancient.
That's really going back.
That is going back. Again, because Helena believed that she found the Holy Cross. They went digging in Jerusalem, found a cross on what was believed to be the site where the Lord was crucified, and it was a very imperial and even early medieval way of proving it was authentic. They didn't do what's it called when you test something to see how old it is? Thank you, They didn't do carbon dating tests. They took somebody who had died and touched them to the cross, and the legend is the person came back to life. They thought
that would do it.
That's got to be real. It worked a miracle. This is the Lord. This is the Lord's cross. And so it's like,
And then in the West, they're evolved, and I'm not sure how old this is, but I'm guessing it's not that old. The 7 last words from the cross.
Yes, that's actually, if I'm not mistaken, that's a post-Reformation devotion, and you would find it in both the Roman Church and in a lot of non-Roman Catholic churches, a lot of Protestant churches.
One of the strange celebrations of Good Friday, and I've always enjoyed, to be very honest, hot cross buns.
Yes, hot cross buns, very European, and in many ways very English. You find hot cross buns across Europe, but it was a bun. This is awful, but for those of you who gave up sweets, but it's about the size of a jelly donut, but it's not full of jelly. And it's a spiced bun with dried food in it, like raisins or currants, and then it has a cross formed on top of it with some sort of white icing or marzipan or something. And the custom was, one was supposed to kiss the cross before eating a hot cross bun. But there were superstitions or beliefs, whatever, connected to the hot cross bun. One was that the hot cross bun would not mold, because it was on Good Friday, it was in memory of Jesus. The other legend is that if you hung one in your kitchen, tied it up with a piece of string and hung it from a rafter, your house wouldn't catch fire during the year. And then there was belief, since you kept this thing all year, that you could break off little pieces when folks were sick and give it to them to eat, and it was medicinal. It would help make them well. And where those beliefs come from, I don't know. I've sometimes thought maybe it was a little moldy, and maybe it was natural penicillin, but that's
and healing, right? Of course,
that's pushing it beyond anything that I can.
Either way, enjoy your hot cross bun.
That's exactly right. Have a hot cross bun and enjoy it. And again, they shouldn't be too sweet because it's. There wasn't a lot of sugar in Northern Europe. Archaeologically, you can tell when you get into cemeteries and hit medieval graves as opposed to from the 17th century on, because they may have lived a long life. They had good teeth because they didn't eat stuff that rotted them out. Then suddenly you hit the 1700s when sugar became more available. People's teeth get bad.
Oh yeah. You can actually see it.
You can see it. I mean, useless trivia, but you can see it in their teeth. You can tell the ones that could afford sugar.
You thank God for fluoride today.
That's exactly, yes indeed. Fluoride, the water fluoride in the toothpaste.
If you gave up sugar for Lent, is it kosher, if I may say it that way, for you to eat hot cross buns on Sunday? I mean, on Good Friday.
Yes, it is, because the bun is eaten in remembrance of the Lord's death. And also, again, because it's based on medieval recipes, hot cross buns shouldn't have too much sugar in them. They lightly sweeten them. Most of the sweetening comes from the dried fruit rather than from the addition of sugar. So, yeah.